Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fortress of Comic News, episode 225. I am one of your hosts, Chris, alongside the master of the co-host, Mike.
I have the power! Dude, I won't shut up about Masters of the Universe, but we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, right. Something to say.
Welcome to episode 225. We have the very infamous and talented Mr. Tony Parker on the show today. I'm sure you'll recognize some of the books that we talk about with his art on it. More importantly, he's doing the new Kratos comic from God of War, so some pretty badass art coming out for that.
Yeah, and some solid Mass Effect talk as well. We get into all of it, as we always do.
Oh yeah, Chris is deep in that Mass Effect universe, so I hope you guys got a lot of time to sit back and listen. I read a lot of comics this week. I went to the movies, Chris, this week. It had the last movie I saw in the theaters was Avengers Endgame.
So prior to Black Widow, which I saw the other week, it was Birds of Prey.
Okay, yeah, I didn't even know for that. Yeah. But yeah, it was bought 2 tickets, and it was still cheaper than paying to see, Jungle Cruise on the Disney app. I will say, so I went into Jungle Cruise, so it was like, going with the friends to the movies. It was either the Green Knight or Jungle Cruise. And the way I determined it is, well, first off, like, you gotta be, if you want to go see Green Knight, like, you gotta be in the mood to see a horror / I don't know, like, mental movie in the middle of the day.
Yeah, so let me just cut in right here. I just heard about the Green Knight today. What the fuck is this movie?
It's a movie, so the old tale is the Green Knight is part of the King Arthur's Round Table. It originally, dude, this movie, I don't know if there was a teaser for it years ago. I remember being excited for it because I thought it was going to be like a horror movie. But now I don't know if you've seen the trailer, it's more of like, they're pitching it as like a Pan's Labyrinth style, like mythical story of the Green Knight. I don't know any more than that. He goes on this like quest to defeat this like being. I don't know if it's a god or something, but it looks heavy. It's not like a action movie, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The way it's set. But it looks awesome. So I look at the Rotten Tomatoes score. It's about the same Rotten Tomatoes score as Disney's Jungle Cruise. And I will say, I heard, oh man, Disney's Jungle Cruise, they'll make money off anything. Then I saw The Rock was in it, and I was like, all right, I'll watch this movie. And for those of you that forgot, Pirates of the Caribbean was a Disney ride that got turned into a $1 billion franchise of movies.
I've been lovingly calling this movie Pirates of the Caribbean Jungle Style.
Did you watch it?
No, I haven't watched it.
It was. So I will say this. I loved it. Like I go into movies with really low expectations. I mean, we all know that after the whole DC era. But it was a combination of The Mummy with Brendan Fraser and Pirates of the Caribbean. And there was a solid minute to 2 minutes of dick jokes in a Disney movie. Okay. And I was laughing my ass off. And they even go to the point of because The Rock is he's the captain of the Jungle Cruise. He does really cheesy jokes and one-liners while he's giving the tour, which I didn't know this. That's actually what they do at the Jungle Cruise ride.
I've never been to
me
Disney,
either, but
so
people were like, oh, it's kind of weird they're doing all those, but no, someone was like, here's a video of the actual ride, and that's the shitty cheesy jokes they do while you're on the ride. So it was really fun. I think it was great. I don't know if they're going to try to build a franchise off it, but it was a lot of fun. And it was just like the Pirates of the Caribbean in the sense that they're looking for a treasure that this Spanish Inquisitors went looking for, basically the Holy Grail, and they died and were cursed, and now they come back as part of the island. It was literally Pirates of the Caribbean, but it was still fun. The only great part about it was, you know how there's Spanish, settler or Spanish inquisitors that died there.
Mm-hmm.
When they came back to life, they actually spoke Spanish, which was like, you expect them to just do an accent and speak English, but they started speaking Spanish and they never cut to English, which was like good on Disney for like sticking to that. I was like, wow, that was actually like a pretty cool layer to the movie that they added.
Yeah, I'd go either way with that.
Right.
There's a convenient, like, I can suspend my belief if they have like a bad accent. And it's like, okay, they're speaking Spanish, but just for my sake, they're speaking English. But it's one of those movies where when it comes on Disney Plus and it's free, I'll watch it. But I didn't really feel like I needed to rush out and see it.
It was just exciting to go to the movies and see it and, munch on popcorn. I will say Meth Damon is in it. The red-haired guy from Breaking Bad.
Okay.
And he plays, so the villains, so it's kind of like Indiana Jones because the villains are Nazis, which now Chris is interested, but he plays
easy villain.
He plays an evil Nazi. The best part of the movie is like, they're in the Amazon jungle and he's like chasing them. He brings a submarine to the Amazon. So like, they're riding around in this boat, and the Amazon, like, I don't think the river is that deep, but he's just like they just kind of comic book science it where they're just driving this submarine around the whole time.
Listen, I mean, Nazis are evil; they're bad, but they get shit done. I mean, you're gonna get a submarine into a river. Yeah, they're gonna do it. So
yeah, it was it was a lot of fun. Yeah. I think that I only watched one movie. Yeah, that was it.
I watched rewatched the Austin Powers trilogy this week.
Oh my god!
Boy, howdy.
Yeah. How did that age like a fine wine? Or
there's moments that are very 90s in it. Like, especially I think it's Goldmember where like Britney Spears comes in the intro.
God. Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But they're still funny and they're fun, and especially someone who loves like spy stuff as much as I do. There's a lot of in jokes, so they're still good. I don't know if like somebody who was our age when these movies came out today, so what, like preteen probably, would enjoy. I don't think they would enjoy these, but fuck it, I still liked it. It was fun,
dude. Some of those jokes, like where he's unfrozen and he's pissing for like 30 minutes.
Fat bastard goes on the Subway diet.
Yeah.
There's good moments. I enjoy them.
I eat because I'm unhappy.
I'm unhappy because I eat.
Yeah, I'm unhappy because I eat. It's like, damn, dude. Hits you right in the feels.
Lost a little weight. Yes, my chin looks like a vagina.
So good.
Those are great. I love them.
I also watched I watched a movie called Mortal. Have you heard about this movie?
No.
It's on Amazon Prime, so if you have Amazon Prime, check it out. It's only like an hour and a half long. My mom actually told me about it because it, like, you don't really understand what's going on. It's kind of a foreign film, but so this kid like discovers he has like he is actually in hiding. Like, there was an incident where he like burns down his house and he's hiding in the woods in like Norway, like in the Netherlands somewhere. He has an interaction where he accidentally kills someone, but he, like, you could tell he has these powers and he doesn't know why. And it has to do with like lightning and like atomizing the air around him and stuff like that. But he like doesn't know how to control it. So he ends up hurting a lot of people. It's kind of like a thriller, but like, not to spoil too much, but the reason he has these powers is because he's related to Norse mythology. And there is a Norse god who's very in touch with lightning. More so, he's a Marvel character, so Chris would probably be interested.
I'm guessing his name is Thor.
Yeah. But the way they treat it is like, yeah, he like gets Thor's hammer and stuff at the end of the movie, but it's not a good thing because, like, you know, the cops try to stop him because they realize he has all this power. And it's like, it's a more realistic version, I would say. So like, he gets the lightning powers, but a lot of like innocent people die, and that makes the cops pissed, which makes him pissed. And it's almost like that horror movie that came out about the superhero, like the Superman horror movie.
Yeah, which I never ended up seeing.
No, me either. Brightburn, I didn't watch it either yet.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what it reminded me of. It was like he gets these powers, but like it's already too late. Like neither the cops or him trust each other, and they just like it's just chaos from there.
Yeah. So,
really cool.
So I wanted to. I don't know if you saw this or not. I know I tagged you at it, but I had a back and forth with Ed Brisson on Twitter this week.
Yeah. Was that the comic book science?
So yeah, he literally posted something about writing a sci-fi comic, and he literally puts in the script like insert science that makes this all work here.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, and I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is how comic book science works and all of our superhero stuff. And he was just like, yeah, you caught me. I'm busted.
Yeah, right. He said busted.
So we've been right about this all along.
Yep. Just a bunch of big science words they add. But you should check it out. Mortal, you'd like it. And then I read Masters of the Universe. We'll talk about that. I guess we'll just hop into the TV news. Some of our favorite shows have been renewed. Netflix announced that Sweet Tooth is coming back for a second season, and The Boys are renewed for a fourth season, even though we don't even have a third season yet. So,
or the spinoff show, yeah,
or the spinoff show. So, must be good shit. They probably figured we could just start filming season 4 before society closes down again.
Yeah, that's probably what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm happy about both of these. We talked about it at the time, but I adored Sweet Tooth. It's probably going to be my favorite thing of the year, unless something else comes out that just blows me away. But and The Boys, we've been loving The Boys, so as long as they keep that up, keep bringing it.
Sweet Tooth was really good. Entertainment Weekly gave us a first official look at Hawkeye and announced the series will premiere November 24th. So, yep, it's definitely Hawkeye and his daughter and a bow and arrow.
Yeah, and I like the bullseye that it's like the purple and white, like the Hawkeye comic does.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, okay, Hawkeye, I'll watch it. You could show me nothing from now until then, and I'm probably going to at least watch episode 1.
Right.
So,
yeah, come on. Rumors have it that Disney Plus has cast both Thawne and Ezra Bridger for the upcoming Ahsoka series. Thawne is said to be played by Lars Mikkelsen, who also voiced the character in Rebels, and Ezra is said to be played by Mena Massoud, the actor who played Aladdin in Disney's live-action remake. So, that's cool.
Yeah, I like that they're giving the voice actors the live action roles. It's really cool.
Yeah.
This is like the second or third time they've done it.
Yep.
And from what I heard, this guy, Mena Massoud, was really good in Aladdin. I have not watched Aladdin.
Yeah, I didn't watch Aladdin.
And he fits the look, because Ezra is kind of has a Middle Eastern heritage to him. At least it looks like that, because he's from a different planet, blah, blah, blah. But everything there works. But the most exciting part is fucking Thawne is coming to live action.
Yeah. You're excited for that. Hell yeah.
Ahsoka's going to be amazing. I can tell already.
Yeah. I mean, we already love, what's her name as Ahsoka?
Rosario Dawson. That's the other thing. Rosario kind of went on Instagram and pretty much confirmed these. So they're rumors.
Yeah.
But I think they're true. I think this is exactly what's going to be announced here in a few weeks, or probably in a few months when D23 hits. Yeah.
As long as Disney pays Scarlett Johansson, everything will be okay.
That's a weird. Like, have you looked further into that?
There's a lot, and now a lot of more actors and actresses are coming out and like talking against Disney, which is like there's some shit going on that we don't know about.
So I've seen both sides, people defending Disney, people defending. At the end of the day, my thought is I don't care. But what I do care about is if Disney is fucking her with this whole thing, and they did breach contract, I hope she wins, just because the corporation needs to pay up for the contract that they signed. Because what do we always hear? Well, you signed the contract.
Right, exactly.
So that's my only thoughts on that. Is if something shady did happen, then yeah, I hope she wins. But other than that,
I saw the best part was I saw Batista's tweet saying like, "I told you guys you should have went with the solo Drax movie," because he's been like pissed off at Disney ever since they fired James Gunn. You know, he said he wasn't going to be part of the Guardians movie without him and all that stuff. So he tweeted, he retweeted the whole her suing them thing and was like, "You should have went with the solo Drax movie." I was like, wow.
He confuses me because for a while, I have nothing against Batista. I think he's a phenomenal actor and he seems like a nice enough guy. But he came out like after Army of Dead came out and was just like, Guardians 3 is my last one. I'm done, which is fine. But his reasoning was like, I'm sick of having my shirt off all the time, which was like weird. Like, okay, so I'm a fat fuck and I don't mind having my shirt off in front of people, but like you.
I think it was more of like he has to do like 4 hours of makeup every morning.
I mean, if he said that, I'd be fine. Yeah. But he was just like, yeah, like I don't want to be characterized to have my shirt off and show my muscles all the time. It's like, okay.
But
and
also,
now,
like, he still has huge muscles, you know.
Yeah. And now this week, it came out that like he said that basically prior to being cast as Drax, he was basically he had to sell all of his like shit from wrestling and everything he did, and he was like in debt with the IRS and basically on the way down to like being pretty fucked. And then like Disney came and basically saved him with that casting. So I'm confused about him because it seems like he both hates and loves Guardians and Disney, but
yeah,
who knows?
Either way, Arnold Schwarzenegger never got casted just for his acting.
I mean, we all saw him in Mr. Freeze. It was just phenomenal.
Masters of the Universe. Okay, so this is only 5 episodes, 20 minutes each. This is Masters of the Universe Revelations. It's not He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Revelations. And spoilers for the show. I mean, it's not spoiling so much because of the first 10 minutes they kill off He-Man. Which was... I thought so. The thing about the He-Man show as a kid was like, okay, this show is crazy because it's He-Man killing all these crazy monsters and Skeletor gets thwarted every week, but there's never any like stakes. And when you kill off, the main champion of Eternia in the first episode, I guess there's kind of stakes. I thought it was great. The voice castings were great. You had Skeletor, Mark Hamill. And then you had Merman, Kevin Conroy's Merman. It kind of like sounded like Batman, like underwater. I thought the series was a lot of fun. What did you think?
So I think this is fun because you grew up watching He-Man.
Yep.
I did not.
Okay.
I tried watching He-Man later in life, and I just, no offense to anyone that grew up watching it. Like, there's stuff I watched as a kid that I feel this way about now, too. That show is not good.
Oh, no, it's not. No, because I was a kid. I don't watch it now, but when I was a kid, it was awesome. And the big thing was the toys. The biggest thing was the toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. I'm just saying, like, anyone that holds that old cartoon up is like this great thing. I'm just like, ugh, I don't know about your taste, but
yeah.
That being said, so I have little to no connection to He-Man as a character or a universe, and I really loved it. I thought it was phenomenal from day one. My biggest complaint about it is that I want to know more about what happened between Arthur's death and the time jump that we got in episode 2.
Yeah, what happened?
Like, I want to follow Tila further because she obviously had a big transformation in that moment that was a big deal that I want to see.
Right. How did she get to that point?
Yeah. So if they do a comic on that, like, I'm in. I love the sci-fi elements throughout it, especially like when we get to episode 1 and they go and see Triclops.
Yeah.
And he's like worshiping science and everything.
Yeah.
Like, I was hoping. So the first episode, I was like, okay, this is pretty good. Second episode, that happened, and I'm like, is this the show? Is this a sci-fi show?
Yeah.
And in episode 3, we get Merman, and it's more mystical again. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is this show?
Yeah.
But everything there I loved, and then going back afterwards and learning about some of the toys and how like Kevin and crew took some of those toys that were like like that skeleton thing that was in Hell.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the glowing skeleton.
Yeah.
That was like a defunct Skeletor toy back in the 80s or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, well, let's make it make sense.
Right, yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. I love the story. I love the characters. Like it really is. Let's make the supporting cast matter.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
Man at Arms, dude. Oh, Man at Arms is always my favorite character out of the He-Man. The He-Man
he's phenomenal.
And the episode, like the whole like Man at Arms going into hiding, kind of like Luke Skywalker. Like, you know, I failed the people that I was working for, so now I'm going to go into hiding. And then he comes back and he kicks ass, and I'm like, this is what Kevin Smith wanted Luke to do in The Last Jedi. And like he shows up and he just like starts kicking ass and like has a giant like cannon over his shoulder. Like that's the Man at Arms, you know. And then the whole mysticism of, because you have Eternia, then you have was it Subternia and Paternia, like the heaven and hell. I thought that was really cool.
So obviously we're going full spoilers on this, everybody. But so yeah, He-Man dies in episode 1.
Yep.
He-Man comes back to life in Arthur comes back to life in episode 4. And then Arthur dies in episode 5.
Yeah. So
but I don't think he's actually dead.
No, but that Skeletor stabbing him like through the heart, like when you think the show's over, was amazing. Like,
yeah.
And then fucking Mark Hamill's voice of like, I'm like, oh shit, this is so maniacal, dude.
And then I'm told that so Skeletor gets the sword and he has the power now.
He has the power, yeah.
And I'm told that is Skelegod is what we're supposed to call it.
Yep, Skelegod, worship him. Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, my two biggest complaints were the first one I said about Teela, about like how I wanted more of Teela.
Yep.
But then this was half of a season. So like when it ended, I was just like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Like
a lot of people saw the hate online and immediately like didn't watch the show, and I gotta like knock it down. Like it's not like it was preachy. It like really showed every character in a deserving light. Like Man at Arms is a classic character, is awesome. I didn't like even He-Man. You got to see Hero and all the other like champions of Eternia. Man, it was awesome.
I think a lot of them are misguided in their like bait and switch commentary, and Kevin doesn't help in some of the things I love Kevin, but he doesn't help some of the things he says.
Right.
And another thing, I would have, if I was in charge, which I'll never be, I wouldn't have stabbed Arthur in the chest again. Like, I would have just found another way to like get him off screen for Skeletor to take over.
Right. Because
I think that leads to it too, where now everybody's assuming that it's like, oh, Teela is going to be the next Master of the Universe, and maybe she. I don't know. I don't really care. Like, if it's good, it's good.
Also, what I've heard is you're getting a lot more non-He-Man fans watching the show. Like, a lot of parents with their kids watched the show and loved it.
Yeah.
And it had like you need a story with stakes. Like, you basically have a Superman. You know, like how do you revolve a universe around him?
And that's just the thing at the end of the day. Like I said, there's never been a great He-Man thing.
Yeah.
Like, this is probably the first great He-Man thing we've gotten. So if they had to switch things around and move it to like get it to be great, fine.
And Skeletor like had to win one time. He never wins. So like he had to win it at least once.
Well, and it's like, what are you going to do? You're going to have Skeletor lose again, and then where do you go from there? Like, you have to up the stakes to continue on the story. Like, there's... Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of misguided people who just... And there's things, like I said, that could have been done more eloquently to push those people away from that feeling. But at the end of the day, it's like, guys, we're not talking about fucking Citizen Kane 2 here. Like, we're talking about fucking Masters of the Universe.
And I guess there was some references to the original movie with Dolph Lundgren. Some people were like loving that.
Okay, yeah.
And he's like, no glove, no love, or something like that. I forgot, that quote was from something. I forgot what that was from.
And anyone who hasn't watched it, who is apparently doesn't mind getting everything spoiled.
Yeah.
He-Man's in every episode.
Yeah.
Like he's literally in every episode as a flashback. So it's like they show the importance of that character throughout it too. So there's so much to love about it. I say go out and watch it and make your own decision because I think it's better than the 32 people that review bombed it or saying, or the idiots online are saying. It's really well done. Yeah.
New Shang Chi trailer. Not much to talk about besides the fact that they reveal Fing Fang Foom.
Which they did already. They did that in the last trailer.
Yeah. I mean, what did we get anything else out of this trailer? Like,
the big reveal is that we are all mispronouncing Shang-Chi because it's Shang-Chi.
Oh, Shang-Chi. Yeah, that's right.
And I'm probably going to continue to pronounce it wrong, just like I pronounced Dormammu wrong.
Yep.
And that was probably it. Because everything else, I'm just like, okay, so it's just it was basically, to me, looked like a TV spot. Like what they're going to put during, NFL games or whatever to try to promote it. So
I'm still excited for the movie either way.
I am. I'll definitely go and watch it. Everyone knows Kung Fu is not really my thing, but it's Marvel, so I'm gonna at least give it a shot.
I just want to do this live while we're here because I checked it during the week and I told a lot of people about it that the Suicide Squad movie. Did you check?
It's getting great reviews.
Yeah, but like, not just that. It had 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, it has a 96%, but and that's almost 100. That's almost 100 movie critics. Isn't that insane?
I saw 9 and above on pretty much every critic. So
yeah, dude, it had 100% this week, and I was like, this can't be real. Like, this is insane.
This is the first DC movie I will be going into with expectations.
Yeah,
like real expectations. So
for sure. Yeah,
I'm excited. I want to get my hands on it. But
I will say Daniel Smallchin has taken off. Like Entertainment Weekly is talking about his comic book now and stuff. I reached out to him to talk to him about his comic book, but when you have like TMZ and people reporting on an actor writing a comic book, it's game over for us, man. We
never know.
Yeah,
never know.
We're trying for it, but yeah, Polka Dot Man seems to be the star of the show.
Listen, you want to come to a show where you're going to be the star because the name of the movie is Polka Dot Man and His Amazing Friends. This is the show to come to.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll see. But other than that, let's jump to this awesome interview we have with Mr. Tony Parker, and we'll see everybody on the other side.
All right, we're back.
Awesome. So look for him and all the cool stuff he's doing. If you like God of War, I never even played through God of War, but I'm still interested in the book just because I like the idea of the lore behind it.
That's kind of like one of our second loves, video games, and the God of War, the most recent one, is so fucking good.
Yeah, that's what I remember hearing. Is like everybody
this is somebody that I love the old God of War. Like I know they're a little like bro-ish, but they're still a lot of fun and there's a lot of good like mythology there. This one blows all of them out of the water. So yeah.
It was I won Game of the Year last year or 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't know.
Whenever it came out.
Comic news. DC has announced another Batman comic coming to DC Black Label. Batman 1 Dark Knight is a 3-issue series being written and drawn by Jock and will release in December. Interesting that Jock is writing, but I love his art, so I'll probably check those out. It's got Batman on it, so it's an easy sell for me.
It's another one of those things where I'm interested, but I'll wait to see what people tell me because I love Jock's art, but I've never seen anything he's written, and I've been trying to cut down my spending a little bit here, so it's I have to be a little bit more, picky about what I pick up these days. I will not be picky about this next thing, though.
Yeah. Dynamite has announced a new James Bond limited series, James Bond Himeros will be written by Rodney Barnes with art by Antonio Fuso. The series will see Bond try to take down a dangerous underground sex trafficking ring. You love your James Bond.
Love James Bond. Rodney Barnes is doing Philadelphia. Have you read that?
No, but you like it, right? Have you read it?
I haven't read it either. I've just heard really good things about it. So
yeah, me too.
Dynamite's been treating the Bond franchise really well. I can't think of a single one that I didn't like at the very least. So
this is crazy. Scott Snyder has announced that his company Best Jacket Press is partnering with Comixology for 8 new series coming to the Comixology Originals platform. Here's a list of the new series with creative partners. So it's a good month to have Comixology Unlimited.
Yeah. And let me start before you go on.
Yeah.
These Comixology Originals, so if you have Comixology Unlimited, which we both do, these are all free. Yeah. So I'll probably try all of them, but we can go through them one by one.
I find myself downloading so many trades and books that like it's so worth the money. And we're not sponsored by them at all, so that's what I'm saying. So Barnstormers with artist Tula Lote is a romance story set after World War One. Starring former fighter pilots, so an old romance war story.
Which would not. I don't think it would be up either of our alleys normally, but I'll try it out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For the price of entry, why not? The Book of Evil with artist Jock is about a strange future where 90% of the population is born as psychopaths. Okay.
I'm interested in this one.
I'll read that. Yeah.
The idea that everybody's just like a little psychotic, which I mean isn't far off, but is interesting. So, and Jock's art. So
yep. Can Art with artist Dan Panosian is a horror western where a group of miners find something evil 666 feet underneath the earth. Sign me up, dude.
Yeah, I'm in.
Clear with artist Francis Manipal. Great artist, is a futuristic sci-fi where people are implanted a neurological chip that connects humans with the internet. That sounds fine, but Snyder and Manipal, come on.
Yeah, and a little too close to reality because
that's happening soon.
Yeah, Elon's trying to get that happening. So
he's a crazy fucker. Duck and Cover with artist Raphael Albuquerque. Dude, another great artist, is a manga-inspired post-apocalyptic 1955 America. What? Okay, sure.
Yeah, so manga Fallout? Sure, let's do it.
Yeah, sure. This is all like the notes he's taken over the years. He's like, sure, let's just do these stories. Dudley Datson and the Forever Machine with artists Jamal Eagle and Juan Castro. Was Jamal on the show?
No.
Oh, I thought we had Jamal on the show.
I don't think so.
It's a story about a boy, his dog, and a machine that controls time and space. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Sign me up.
that sounds exactly like us. So
yeah, come on. I'm reading the shit out of that. Night of the Ghoul with artist Francesco Francaville with a horror story about a lost horror movie that intersects with our world. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. And like I said, I'll at least check it out. But that one's probably my second to least favorite of the group. But
all right. Now here we go. The last one, folks. We Have Demons with artist Greg Capullo is a story about an evil secret society, monsters, and mayhem. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you have me at Greg Capullo.
Yeah. A Justice League Dark Book with Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder. Hell yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. My favorite part of all this is the diversity in it.
Yeah.
Like the diversity of types of books.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
We have a World War II romance book, and then we have one where it's just like, let's have monsters fight the fucking secret societies. Like,
and he went to Capullo and he's like, which one do you want to write? He's like, I want to do the demon shit.
Yeah.
Because he's been playing a lot of like guitar solos and shit lately on Instagram, and you can tell he's just like, that's what he's into right now.
Yeah, so, and all these are to be published through Dark Horse with the Comixology deal going through.
Mm-hmm.
And, but yeah, this is huge. Like, 8 new books from Snyder, all indie and all digital first. Like, I just love that I'm going to get all these for free. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And not even like our privilege of getting like press copies or something. Like, literally, anyone out there, Comixology Unlimited is amazing, and you can get these for free.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, it's
happy.
A little fun fact, everybody. I actually live where Greg Capullo grew up. Schenectady, New York. Anybody want? He's in California now. He's since long gone, but
and Mike is attempting to buy his childhood house as we speak.
I just remember. I don't know if I told the story years ago, but it was during a Batman day, like God, years ago, like probably 4 or 5 years ago.
I think when he first moved to Mass.
Yeah, and Capullo was drawing Batman 52 still. The new 52 Batman, and I was looking up, I'm like, man, there's no Batman. Like, DC's website had this thing to search events. They're like, man, there's no events near me. I'm in the middle of nowhere. And then it said, like, Greg Capullo, Guilderland Library, which was like 45 minutes from me. And I was like, what? It's this library in the middle of nowhere. And he was speaking there for free. Like, I think you got to watch The Dark Knight, and then after The Dark Knight, Capullo came up and he had posters, and like his wife was there, and he was just like shooting the shit with us for an hour and a half. And I think I videotaped the whole thing on my phone. And he's just such a cool dude. Like, he was just talking for about an hour and a half, talking about MMA, talking about comics, and like how he would just go downtown Schenectady and sit on a park bench and draw people coming and going. Like, such a cool dude, and I'll never forget that moment. Like, it was probably more intimate than like going to a con and meeting him, It was just so cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Good times.
Anyways, I read a lot of freaking comics this week. I bought some real comics too.
I saw you were in the Kansas this week.
Yeah, I had to drive about 5 hours from Oklahoma City to Kansas City, Missouri. And one of the sales guys I'm with now is really into comic books, and because of me. So when I travel, like, that's the one thing we want to do is like stop at it, like a comic shop we've never been to before. So it's nice to see, it was a really cool toy store too. This guy had a lot of pop figures, like ones that people are looking forward to, like and then he had some really cool Masters of the Universe figures and stuff. But anyways, I picked up some books because I read everything digitally now. Like, I had to buy Superman, Son of Kal-El, because I love me some Tom Taylor. He liked my tweet and tweeted at me and said enjoy. So we're best friends now.
Yeah, that's how that works.
This book, really good. It's about a father and son, and a son trying to like uphold the mantle of Superman. So, kind of like him finding himself and like how to use his powers for good, and the way he wants to. I would say. Did you read it or no?
No.
Parasomnia issue 2. There's a little more happening in this book. We find out that the guy who's in the dream world kind of understands that he's in the dream world, and the people in the real world that have the boy captured are like an evil cult or something like that. So a lot more going on here. This is the Cullen Bunn and Moody art. Really good story. Check it out. Time Schmucks, #1, Fitzsimmons and Hoskison on the art. This was a Kickstarter. Issue 1 was awesome. The art was fantastic. Did you get this in the mail or no?
No, I did not do that one.
Oh, okay. So basically, this guy's a schmuck, and he ends up going back in time. He's a local drunk at a bar, and him and his bartender end up back in time, and they're trying to figure out how to get back. It's a lot of fun. Check it out. I'm sure issue 2 will be kickstarted soon. Barbaric #2 had to pick up this awesome cover, like this retro wave color.
The variant covers for that series are awesome.
There's so many cool ones. I picked this up at my local comic shop, Zombie Planet, Represent, over on Central Ave in Albany. This book is just awesome. We find out the origin of the witch. Yeah, and that like cover is amazing too. It's so hard to pick a cover for this book. What do I say about it? It's just a lot of fun. We find out the origin of the witch and how she gets to be where she is. She's a necromancer, which is awesome. I love that shit. We don't get enough necromancers in fantasy books, so I'm glad to see that. I feel like people don't like to touch those characters because it's a little like, it's like, okay, you can show a wizard, but necromancer, like, they don't always have to be bad, right? Like, she's not a bad person.
Yeah, I liked her origin where, like, her dad was going off to work in the field and she was scared because she could see his death coming.
Right.
And then that's when everybody's like, it's a fucking witch!
It's a witch burner! Yeah, right. I always think of Monty Python when that shit happens. But yeah, that's the crazy part. Like her origin, and then she like falls into this wrong group of people and ends up finding them in the depths. And now she's possessed too. So like the barbarian is stuck down there in the depths near hell with like this cult leader and the possessed witch, and he's in a pretty tough spot. So I don't know how he's going to get out of it.
Yeah, really good book, and apparently it's only going to be 3 issues for the first story.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if he's going further with it, but it did say like concluding next issue. So
the last book you'll ever read. This is Cullen Bunn. Lee's on the art, and it's a really this one is about a girl who writes a book that it like drives people insane to like go to their feral instincts of like everybody has all this evil and hatred bottled up, almost like Crossed, where like people go crazy and they start like losing their humanity and killing other people and just like go off the deep end because they read this book, and they almost see her as like the prophet. So like every time she goes to a book signing, there's like more and more creepy people like going after her, and it's getting worse and worse. So she hires some protection, like FBI protection, and it's getting closer to her, and there's all this crazy shit going on. So she like doesn't believe that she's a cult leader, but she still has these like visions of like evil shit. So something's definitely going on, and why she wrote the book, but we don't know why yet. And it's pretty interesting by Cullen Bunn. So that dude, man, writing a lot of books.
yeah.
All right, time to go to my digital issues. I read a lot of books. I finally caught up and finished Birthright. Birthright ended on issue 60. Fantastic ending. I'm sorry, issue 50. Fantastic ending. I really don't know. I don't have anything to say. It's a perfect by Williamson. It was a perfect ending. It was the happiest ending you're gonna get. Basically, Mikey gets his family back to the side of Earth because they were trapped over in the other world. And his brother, who's a mage, decides to sacrifice himself and stay over in the other world while they get to live on Earth. And it was perfect to read Skybound X this week, or one of the Skybound X issues is his brother, Brandon, on a boat after he does that. Like it kind of continues after issue 50 saying like, I've been over here. I don't know how you're over here alone, and he meets like death, and they kind of like kill zombies together. So that was a fun story. I finished Scout's Honor. That was over at issue 5. I finally David Pepos and Luca Casalanguida. Really great story. You probably read of all those by now, right?
No, I haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, it's just crazy story. Like by the end of the book, because we know the main character is a girl now, and that was the whole part of the story. She kills a hell spider, they're called, and she like befriends the baby and then starts riding around the desert, which is kind of insane.
Well, that was funny because when that like was revealed in the book, that same week was when the Boy Scouts announced that they're going to let girls into the Boy Scouts.
Oh, really?
And his whole story was about like this girl that infiltrates.
Yeah, that infiltrates the Boy Scouts, but it's still really good. I've been reading Batman: The Adventures Continue, so I caught up on that. It basically is the Court of Owls, in the Batman animated series universe. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I read the second issue, the print issue, the other day actually, and it finishes up with like who is control the Court of Owls.
Yeah.
And then what's funny is because if you listen to Bat Friends, and we already did, we're actually going to be starting Beyond here soon. So we did all what this is jumping on. And there's a character in there called the Jazz Man.
Yep.
Who's fucking awful.
Oh, yeah. And
at the end of issue 2, it literally says the Jazz Man returns.
Yeah.
And so I sent it to Joe, and I was like, the Jazz Man's coming back. And he just texted me back, I'm so fucking glad I'm not reading that.
Oh, my God. I did see that. They're bringing Jazz Man back, which just seems so random.
It is. Hopefully it's funny or done really well, but yeah. Jazz Man's dumb.
Yeah. Batman Superman number 20. I fucking love this issue because I love Etrigan. Yeah, great issue. We get Etrigan the Demon, and I really don't know what else to say. Like, this book is so much fun.
So
yeah, I don't know.
Anyone that denies me that Ivan Reese is the best artist at DC, I present you with this page.
Oh yeah.
And this page.
Yep.
Where they're jumping between the realities and the film reels,
mm-hmm.
and it's just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's amazing art.
Yeah.
Which ends with Etrigan distracts Batman and Superman, and he goes to the Fortress of Solitude, not the Fortress of Comic News, and he lifts the key. Like, we always wonder, like, can someone else lift the key? Oh, he can lift the key to unlock the door, and he gets all of the cyborg Supermen basically as an army. So that's going to be the next issue. It's been crazy, man. This series.
It ends with 22, doesn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Somewhat, because I know Mixoplex is supposed to show up at some point. So when's that going to happen?
Batman Reptilian issue 2. This book is crazy. People are being gutted. We know that. Batman's still going around looking for them. The latest is Victor Freeze and Poison Ivy have been attacked. The person that's on the loose is a very large person. I'm almost wondering if it's Bane. Of course, that Batman thinks it's Joker because he always does. So basically, the issue resolves with him going to look for Joker. And then we see the Batmobile at the end. That Batmobile is the one from '89, isn't it? With the fin on it, the very last page.
I think it's different.
A little different, maybe.
Yeah, it's a little different. 89's was a little more phallic in nature. A little longer, but yeah, it's a similar idea.
It's still a great series.
This also looks more like a car.
Yeah, that's true. Liam Sharp's art's amazing. The story is very, it's very crazy, and it's really good.
So I don't know if in the digital version they add these pages or not, but he does like previews for the next issue.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, like Killer Croc comes up on this. Killer Croc Morgan, world champ. And they're like, well, it's not him. Like, it's bigger and more fierce than him because it's some sort of giant reptilian creature. Of course, you'd think it's Killer Croc,
right?
His Killer Croc dude on these preview pages are awesome. Like, he just looks so fierce and like a fucking monster.
Yeah, Liam Sharp's art is really good.
Yeah, I love that he's painting this too. Like, it just adds a new dimension to it.
Yep. And then I had Infinite Frontier, Infinite Frontier number 3.
Yeah, you did.
Berserker number 4. That's really good. I'm just trying to breeze through these. Avengers Mech Strike number 5. That was more that resolves the story of, like, Black Panther goes back in time and stops King before he gets the Cosmic Cube or, like, messes with time, and so that kind of resolves everything.
Yeah, so we get Black Panther and his encounter with Eternity and how he was, like, saved, and then he goes, Kang thinks that he's running away from him, but he's really hunting Kang through the timeline to stop the events from happening to begin with. And then when it's weird time travel comic book science stuff, but yeah, so it happens, but only the Avengers remember what happened.
Exactly.
It was a good ending, though.
Infinite Frontier number 3, you have Jade and Obsidian and Alan Scott looking for Jade, and then they basically find out that it's one of Obsidian's villains. Roy Harper's having some issues out in space. He keeps getting possessed by his Black Lantern ring and having a bad time. We're at Earth 22, where is it Magog, right? It's not. Yeah, Magog shows up and is defending this broken ship that President Superman and Earth 2 Batman are trying to, gather pieces of. And then Justice Incarnate shows up, which is, Chris's favorite crew because it's got Captain Carrot.
Captain Carrot shows up. We're all good.
Yeah. Basically, they have to see if they resonate with. They touch the ship to see if it resonates with their frequency on their Earth. President Superman says it resonates with him. Then we get this crazy Flash sequence where Psycho Pirate has him on this giant cosmic treadmill in Earth Omega and is just running him like drive his power pretty much. And then the part with Alan Scott and Obsidian continues. They find bones, and he has these ships that are going through the time stream. And you pretty much they've stopped there to they've been revealed. Okay, we're here to find bones and find my daughter and sister Jade. So that's where their story leaves off. And then we have Black Lantern Roy Harper gets picked up by one of those ships out in space, and come to find out that it's Hector Hammond, who's a bad guy. So he's like, oh shit, I shouldn't be on this spaceship. And then a crew shows up that's almost like the Justice Society, but Jade's part of them. I don't know if it's the same Jade that they lost. You have Wildcat, a female Wildcat, you have Power Girl, you have Atom, Smasher. So the story's just crazy. It's a lot of good comic book stuff, multiverse stuff. Can't get enough of it.
Yeah. Good to see Power Girl back. I always enjoy that character.
Yeah. And that's pretty much all I had. I had some other stuff, but...
I had two other ones, and they're real quick, because I had a lot of the same as you, actually. But United States Captain America #2, where we kind of figure out that somebody's hunting down these other Caps and trying to basically ruin the name Captain America. And who's behind it? It's Red Skull's daughter, Sin. And we're introduced to another Cap. It's this woman who's in her town. She's like a kind of a protesting a bunch of stuff and trying to make her town better. And that's the Cap we get in that town. And then Steve and Falcon are both just decide to go off and try to chase after this other Cap that they find that's trying to ruin their name. And then Skybound X #4, which is, continuing the Rick Grimes thing. It's still really super wacky. In this one, the Whisperers show up, and Alpha and Beta end up fusing their powers to create the Omega zombie, which is all the zombies on top of each other, creating this giant swamp thing looking zombie. Mm-hmm. It's fucking weird. And then the only backup story I read was the Redneck one, which was really good, except it's not done by the original artist, which is a little jarring.
Yeah.
But still. That's all I had, Mike. So awesome. Where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at Fortress Ricker on Twitter. Where can they find you and or the show?
They can find me at Fortress Chris on Twitter, and they can find the show at FortressComics_, also at FortressComicNews.com. Remember, everybody, if you are listening to us, to give us the 5-star review on whatever podcatcher you use. And if you're watching this, to subscribe, share, comment down below on the YouTube channel. And if you want to go the extra mile, patreon.com/FortressComics. Remember, everybody, that on the 21st, I will be at AnchorCon selling wares, hanging out with Joe, and doing fun stuff. So stop by there and come see us. And I think that's all I have going on this month. So thank you all so much for listening. We'll see y'all here next week.
Goodbye.